I think that the ideal body type has kind of changed. Like, it's always changing, but usually it's either like curvy but still toned, or it's the thigh gap, or just, I feel like the common denominator is toned.
I think the ideal body type is probably like the hourglass figure, where either like big on the top or big on the bottom and then a skinny waist.
I think the ideal body type is whatever you feel comfortable in. So it could be slim or it could be anything above that. But as long as that person is comfortable in their own body, then I feel like that's what's ideal.
I would say healthy, not even like skinny or like bigger, just, healthy. It depends on any body type. It's healthy for different people. So I would just say healthy is the ideal body type for me.
I think the rest of society thinks that the ideal body type is small, like petite.
So I don't feel like I'm at that ideal body type now. I think everyone always wishes they could be better than what they are. And
I've had relatives tell me, oh, you're too small, you're gonna gain weight.
The media definitely has like a huge take on what beauty is. Just the way like supermodels, like Victoria's Secret or anything like that. Like everybody wants to be a Victoria's Secret,
Growing up, I was fairly insecure about how I looked, and I definitely don't think any sort of media helps that because they're only showing these flawless people. It's just not accurate.
A lot of younger kids are watching are so technologically advanced now that they're all like looking at these things and like starting that from a young age. It's just like you're gonna be body conscious from the time you're like 6, which is like horrible. Like you should have a childhood, you should be able to eat whatever you want to eat, play whatever you want to play. But the media is like not showing that to kids. So
I think it definitely like puts an image of what they want to look like when they're older. I mean, if they start looking at that stuff at 6 years old, by the time, they have 10 years until they're 16 and start growing into their adult body and saying, this is what I should look like because this is what social media and everyone is telling me to look like. So they spend their whole life thinking that that's what is acceptable.
Being a burn survivor definitely helps because I can bring a whole different perspective to the table, but I definitely think it's possible for them to see that there are other types of beauties out there, and it's just not this like flawless depiction of what people consider beauty.
like it's like kind of biased with the media where they're like you should strive to be yourself and be happy in your skin, but then they're gonna show us like all these models and like these skinny figures.
It basically gives girls an unrealistic idea of what they should look like when these models don't even look this way.
Especially with my burns, like you only see girls who are apparently flawless, and like that's not an accurate representation of the kind of people they are either.
Instead of having just a one skinny model, like how about a variety of people, different skin tones, different like shapes and stuff like that. Like you don't need to stick to one basic model.
If you want to have a model on your cover, get someone who anyone of any age can relate to. Get someone who has a realistic body.
If like more realistic things were put into magazines, like kids with injuries, adults with some kind of disability in general, not even just disabilities, but a more accurate representation of people will definitely give a better perception to the public of what's realistic.
Or even influential women on the cover of magazines.
I like Aerie's new campaign because they don't Photoshop their images, so it makes me feel normal.
I would definitely say the most important message to me is that you're really not the opinion of someone who doesn't know you. And growing up, I really didn't realize that. Constantly I felt judged and insecure about the way I looked because I felt like, it wasn't acceptable to other people. Though it wouldn't have really affected me if I didn't think of those things, like about the way other people were thinking of me.
I think what I would want to tell kids is that they should be happy in their own skin, like color, if you have acne or not, like if you have like a little muffin top, whatever it is, like just be happy with who you are, like it's what matters inside. That's like honestly the truth.
I personally think that beauty comes from your personality. I don't think beauty is the most important thing out there because eventually you have to learn to accept you for who you are because at the end of the day that's all you have.
I think you have to get through the mindset of not everyone has to look the same, and you know, you have to learn to love who you are and love the way you look no matter what.